Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys had a fantastic extended weekend. Jumping right into it, we have a gap down this morning over the weekend. There's so many names now that are gapping below some pivots. The S&P is gapping right into this or right around this ascending trend line that I have going. This is also the 20, which has been respecting it pretty well now. We got four bounces off of it since that April lows, and now this is the test to see if we flush through that or start to build out a little bit, finally start to get some real consolidation. The IWM, we're same thing, kind of gapping down into the 10. So we want to see, if that could just flag out a little bit. So jumping right into it, we got UTHR, pretty big gap off of this news. And I'm not sure, I really am interested in taking it today, but what I will be looking for is something like ABVX, which had a massive gap up as well. And then just put in potential delayed reaction. Just, a few days later, this was like Reddit pullback on decreasing volume when they had that earnings last year. And then we had opportunity there. And then after, a little bit of a consolidation, we had another one. And then CELC, which was another big gapper that gave an opportunity for delayed reaction just about a week later. So that's what I'll be looking for in UTHR. We'll see how it acts today. And this 417s, 418, 417s is a pretty big level. Pretty much like about all-time highs there, I believe. And then jumping into Watchlist and this weekend scan, a lot of them are gapping down. But we had RKLB, which pretty much basing pretty nicely here after the move out of the base back in June. Pretty much almost 100% move or so, and then steady pullback, a little bit of a build. So I'm looking for reclaim of that 49 level. I guess we'll see if we could just consolidate another day or two as the market pulls back. We got Reddit, which is another one that's just slightly pulling back this morning. This is right below Friday's level, but we're in this clear range, respecting the 20 moving average. I guess I'd want to see it build out a bit more, so we could take out the 227s. RKT, LMND, broken setups for now, given the pre-market gap down, gapping down through their pivot levels. So nothing really there. I just want to cover my watch list over the weekend. I doubt that I'll be hands-on at all today, given the action, but I figured I'd just review the watch list that I put out. So, these two recent earnings, gapper and movers, starting to, gap below some keys. So I guess, either it builds back and offers a setup in another few days or week, or doesn't. W and Roblox, two really nice trenders that, Roblox had the probe, it gap down, gap back up, consolidated a bit, looked pretty decent for a potential long, but now, heading into these prior highs here, it could be, a little bit of a head and shoulder setup. This could be intermediate or I guess long-term top, but I don't play the short side. I just want to note relative strength, or I want to just note and study some weakness. So, now that we're gapping down, it's possible we roll over, maybe back to the 111s, even, just fade over time. Same with W, furniture tariffs, same kind of idea. We have that left shoulder and now potentially that right shoulder into the declining 10 and potential rollover and, maybe back to some levels from this prior run. We also have Hood, which, a little bit of a fader, same idea. We're seeing a lot of these left side and then, right side lower shoulders that this is sitting right on the 50. If it cracks the 50, it has some room to go. So this is probably another one to watch for a breakdown. NVIDIA, their earnings, just a lot of these, semi names are just sort of hitting a top here. So that's just something to note as well. Some others last week that I noted, I was swinging into the weekend. We had UNH, which is pulling back a couple of dollars now, but this is, this is still really the best it's kind of ever looked, as long as I've looked at it since the incident in New York with the CEO back in November. That was the peak. Pretty much gave back a chunk of historical move, and now, building above the lows, we have a really nice base. I want to see that, just continue and build, soaking and respecting the 10. So that's something to keep an eye on. MDB, which we took on the earnings day, gapping down a little bit as well, a little bit of decreasing volume. We had a nice inside day, but now we'll see if today, supports Thursday lows, decreasing volume, and then, maybe add for delayed reaction. Snow, another one, same idea, holding up tight inside day with decreasing volume. We'll see if it puts in another inside day or another day lower on decreasing volume for a potential delayed reaction. And then SMTC, which, pulling back as well. My stop on the remaining shares will be on break even, which is about 55.90s. So far, it's above that, but just above. So see how that is. But it seems like I'll just be managing my positions today. And other than that, I'll keep in touch with with chat if anything changes. That's what I got. I'll pass it over to Emil.
All right, thanks, Jura. Morning, everyone. For me, it's going to be CARM this morning. So far, pretty resilient. Had few trades here, but obviously cut it off, and I'm just going to wait the open. Usually, not a big fan of those who has a big range and then reclaim previous levels and hold pretty well into the open. So I'm going to leave it alone until after the open. Ideally, it's going to have a blow off, towards 70 cents or something like that, and reclaim after our highs. Still keeping an eye on it in case it's not just going to push there. Sometimes when there is action like this one, and keeps the trend there, it's just going to give up and then stays heavy. So I'm going to be aware of this scenario as well, looking for a short here. SHFS, this one been pretty nicely still. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'm interested in any pops against 450, going to risk slightly above pre-market highs. Same goes to SSKN. Similar behavior. I'm going to watch any push against 450-ish, or I would be interested in any push here and then see if it's going to stuff there. But also, volume is decent on all of them. So I'm just going to be waiting for something. Most likely, SSKN and CRM are going to be require more time to unfold. So I'm going to watch for that type of trade. Looking at Joby, that they had an 8K after hour on Friday. So I'm going to be interested in any pops against 1350-ish. Pretty much looking more or less at this level. Friday had a nice unwind, but then reclaimed. So been tricky, but after our that 8K show up. So this morning showing some pressure. We'll be interested in pops and looking for more unwind. RDDT, this one, like I've been saying in the past few days, I'm watching for a short. I'm short bias on it. Thursday and Friday been looking like it's holding, but I like the way the market is behaving this morning. And I said then, and I'm still having the same plan. I'm going to be watching for a short and looking for more unwind into later today. So any pops, risking pretty much Friday highs, Thursday's highs. As long as it's going to stay under those levels, I'm going to be okay shorting this name. Same goes to Roblox. It's similar. Structure if you are looking at the daily, and reject these levels. Same here. Any pops against red to green, or it's going to stay heavy at around 10 a.m. I'm going to be interested in getting a short trade there. So yeah, that's what I have for today. Passing it over to Stan.
All right. Thank you, Emil. Good morning, guys. So we have, I just have a few things on watch. Mainly, my main watches are more so on the small cap side, but looking at the overall SPY rollover and things are looking a little bit ugly out there. So I may also keep tabs on some of the usual suspects, PLTR, Nvidia, etc. But let's start with some of the small caps. The first one that I haven't watched here is HWH. Nice little pre-market mover so far. We had a good exhaustion versus this 318, 336s level, give or take, mid threes or so, mid to low threes. So ideally we see some sort of a pop out of the gate. Maybe 280s above VWAP would be fantastic, and then we'll definitely use this mid to low threes as a guide. If we kind of pull it up on a higher time frame, you can see the move from late July. It pretty much topped out right at the 3 level, which is what we exhausted against this morning. And then also if you if you go back to IU historical analytics tool, you will see that this is a habitual type of ticker where it does these one day, single day wonders. You can also see it on the daily chart. So that's pretty much what piqued my interest there, and I want to keep tabs on this for today. So ideally, we see some pop towards threes, above VWAP threes, 320s or so out of the gate. And then we'll use that pre-market level for a reactive trade. So that's HWH, and then hopefully it turns into a all-day fader. The next one that I have on watch is this SHFS. Similar idea as HWH. What I'd like to see is some sort of exhaustion out of the gate versus this 420s, 440s. You can see the top here. This one is closer to the 5s area. High 4s, 470, 490s, etc. So ideally, some sort of a pop, some sort of a exhaustion move out of the gate that will provide for a scale opportunity. So that's more so on the short side with SHFS. I also have Triple U on watch as well. UUU is the ticker, and this one, I'm not in a hurry. It's ETB, right? Easy to borrow, so I'm in no rush for the short side. I do like this trend that it's built so far out of the gate. A pre-market, we have this nice little pop over into the 5s, and then it traps below VWAP, and then from that point forward, it's just a steady trend higher. So once we touched VWAP here around 730, we haven't really breached it again. So again, I'm not in any rush to short this out of the gate. What I'd like to see is some sort of exhaustion into this, in some sort of a parabolic, or again, looking at the daily chart doesn't really give us much information looking left. So for me, this trade becomes stalking it, real time, stalking it live, and waiting for that supply demand equation to kind of shift. So once that changes, once we put in a top, then we'll have something more concrete to risk off of. But as of right now, it's just more of the same, right? It's just it does its rip, it comes back, collects more shorts, gets rid of the longs in the rip, and then here it goes, it curls up again. So until I see some sort of a speed into the tape and then see some sellers pop in, again, not really interested on the front side. And the last one that I have on the small caps, I think Emil went over this one as well. CARM, CARM, sub a dollar, right? Subby type of a name. Previous close was 20 cents, so here we are up around 160, close to 200%. So again, with the volume traded, we're already at 130 million with the current trend. This really becomes something that I'd like to see exhaust before any sort of high conviction type of a trade. I may dabble in it, versus the 60, 75s or whatever versus pre-market highs, but once we breach that 60 level, once we breach that 70 cents level, what everyone else is thinking is a dollar, right? Here we go, a dollar. So I just don't want to, in a way, step in front of that emotional thought, but rather wait for it to exhaust and then prove, and then look for some sort of a fail to follow through setup from there. And just those 4 names are on my main watch so far. But as I mentioned in the beginning, the larger cap names, they seem to be turning a little bit today. We have a nice gap down on POTR, NVIDIA, AMD, etc. So overall, it's looking pretty dire out there, and it's a good time to have your watch list ready and react to what the market provides. And that's pretty much it for me. I'll pass this over to Judah, and I'll see you guys in the room.
Yep. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Stan. Great watch list. I hope you guys all have an amazing trading day, and I'll catch you guys